intensified scrutiny on the RSLPF's internal communication process. Whether Commissioner God was misbriefed or not fully informed remains unclear, but the fallout has reignited public debate over transparency, accountability, and justice in these unresolved cases. As of publication, the RSLPF has not issued an official statement addressing these latest revelations. How this was written today. It's dated August 22nd, 2025. And like I said, St. Lucia Daily Post. Why is that only coming out now? You mean since the day Commissioner God said that, and all the unease and all the disquiet and all the outrage and disbelief that this thing spawned, that nobody could have called the commissioner or indicated to him, Commissioner, the matters there, the items, they are there, they are down in Viewfort, whatever it was, for anything to be said? Like I said, is somebody trying to embarrass the commissioner? Is somebody sloppy in terms of, is it that the person who would have top responsibility for correcting this error was not aware of the press conference? Is it a case of the left hand didn't know what the right was doing? Who briefed the commissioner on these matters? Was the person or persons who briefed the commissioner, were they themselves au courant with the latest status updates and where things stood with those exhibits? This is embarrassing. No other way to say it. It's embarrassing. Like I said, a police commissioner is not the man who will go down to Viewfort and open boxes and verify. If a police commissioner cannot depend upon the people he works with, his assistants and deputy and all of that, and his Northern Division superintendent in charge and the Southern Division and the Viewfort commandant and all, if he can't depend upon those people, what's left to be done? He has to go and personally do everything himself. Likewise, I'll tell you something. No matter how awesome a person that Ernest Hilaire is, and I'm telling you he is, intellectually, he's a man who has great temperament. He remains calm under pressure because pressure has been pushed and hurled at this man, It's like there's a particular effort to destroy Ernest Hilaire and so on, to diss him at every turn. And he's able through it all to manage a smile, to even chip in with some humor. You never see him looking like, he's feeling the heat and the pressure and he can't take it or whatever. People, especially of Castries South, but throughout all of St. Lucia, because Ernest Hilaire serves this country on a nationwide basis as Deputy Prime Minister, as Minister responsible for tourism, investment, creative industries, information and broadcasting, and all those portfolios that he holds. He's the minister responsible for the CIP. He's the minister who has portfolio responsibility for the GPH, investment and all of that. Resolve yourself that you are going to stand up and have Ernest Hilaire's back, because we now see a redoubling of efforts to destroy him. Stand up and have his back. He's a good man. He's an effective man. He's an efficient man. He's a hardworking man. He's a man who gets results and gets things done. The other person that they're trying their level best and beyond to destroy, I'm not afraid for him. Not that I'm afraid for Ernest Hilaire, but when they go and try to take on Richard Frederick, it's usually in the end is the nasty, vicious, would-be destroyers that you end up feeling sorry for. And last night on Can I Help You on NBC television was no exception. I'm sure they must be reconsidering, recalibrating, thinking again whether they want to mess with, whether they want to tangle with the MP for Central Castries and Minister responsible for housing, urban renewal, and local government. Real issues powered by Blue Waters. We take our first break. When we come back, the phone lines are yours.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Feel your heart racing?
He can do nothing wrong tonight.
Feel your toes tapping?
That sounded very good.
Feel the energy building?
Writing more chapters in a legendary book.
That's the feeling of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League, blasting back to town. And this year, the party is even bigger and even louder.
That's gone for 6. My goodness.
Global superstars, monster sixes, edge of your seat drama, live music at halftime, light shows, and a whole lot more. CPL 2025, the biggest party in sport, just got even bigger.
What a time to be alive!
Get your tickets now at cplp20.com.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters, our final program for the week. We're opening the phone lines early so that you can have all the time to speak. The mobile number on which you can WhatsApp call us, note that carefully, is 758, the area code, of course, 487-9849. And we also are on the local landline, 4533-911. I think we have someone on the line already. You're on the air. Go ahead, my friend. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sheldon.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you, Sheldon. Sheldon, I, Gaspar Henry, I'm a living testimony I am a living testimony of a victim of a cooked up story. A cooked up story was made against me, Shelton. That was when I was in the police force, Shelton.
Wow.
And that story, Shelton, Papa, that story was cooked up so nice. It was a story that anybody would just believe, Shelton. But the objective was to get me out of the police force. But you see, they have a scripture, a verse that says, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it wrong for my good.
That's
and
Joseph.
Shelton, I have lived to see the persons who cooked up these stories against me. Shelton, after those guys get me out of the police force, they were sending money. They were sending money on my account. You know, you with me, Shelton?
Yes, I'm there. I'm listening.
They were sending money to my account with the hope of me taking it to come and arrest me for wrongful receiving, you know, Shelton.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you saying that the stories that were cooked up against you, that they succeeded in ending your career in the force?
Yes, Shelton.
Okay.
They framed me, man.
Okay.
They framed me.
And after that, they were still paying your salary?
And after that, they were sending money. I swear by the Almighty God that the evidence. I'm giving is the truth.
You believe this was being done deliberately to
deliberately, the whole truth.
And how did you handle it?
I went to the place, it was headquarters, and informed them of that.
Okay.
I went and informed them of that.
Okay.
Shelton, when you see these stories are cooked against you, Shelton, people believe in these things. But Shelton, in the end, I have seen those who did me these things. When they see me now, they are walking with their head down in shame, Shelton.
Okay.
So I know what it's like. So I want to tell Ernest Hilaire to read Psalms 121, read Psalms 37, and Psalms 23. Brother Ernest Hilaire, read those Psalms 121, 47, and 23.
Okay.
Shelton, let me tell you, in closing, Joachim Henry's son, he lost his son, Shelton, in the midst of campaign. And Guy Joseph, one who said that he's a Christian, one who you expect to show some empathy, to show some love, to avoid going there. I mean, campaign, but don't go there when your brother is mourning. And for Guy Joseph to say that the man sacrificed his son. Boy, these guys have a past, you know, boy. These guys have a past to pay, you know, Papa. And the last one, I listened to Alison J's testimony, Shelton, yesterday. Oh my God.
Yes.
Alison J?
It was really touching, eh?
Why?
Yes.
Why? Those guys will pay for that, you know, boy.
Yes.
Those guys, y'all will pay for that, you know. The persons who mastermind these people's demise, Papa, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. That's my contribution this afternoon.
Okay.
Y'all will pay.
Thank you very much, friend.
Y'all will pay.
All right. 487-9849 and 4533911. We have a call on the line again. Hi, Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, comrade.
Hi, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm good. Calling from the People's Republic of Library.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Oh, all right. I sympathize with Brother Gasper. I never knew Brother Gasper went through so much. And he rose, in spite of all that, he rose from that. Because what people don't realize, what he said, what they meant for your evil, God will turn it out for your good.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, because he came out stronger from that.
Yes.
Yes, I never knew that he went through so much. I'm so sorry to hear that. But yes, on another note, these guys won't stop at anything. Because I say to myself, it's like anybody that have affiliation to that side is always something malicious, is the lies, is this, they will not stop at anything. And like you always say, yeah, Brother Shelton, these folks don't have to take these things lightly. These folks will go out of their way, they will do everything, they will fix you could clearly see, Miss Charles, she was paid to come there to do whatever she did. So was she arrested or action taken against her? They will say, oh, they will use that against the government. It was handled that way. They're still coming up and cook up something. So these guys, so you could see that they try the utmost because they have nothing of substance, clearly. So they come with all kind of mama guy, all kind of gimmick, all kind of things. Yes, because they notice that they're coming closer and the chances of their coming back there is very slim. So it's all a matter of desperation.
Okay.
So I'm telling the government just have to keep their eyes open and focus. And like the Prime Minister just said, keep your eyes on the prize.
Indeed.
Thank you, Shelton.
All right. Now I'm getting a call from an ex-fireman. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Dixon. How are you doing? You're on air now, eh? Yeah, you are on air now.
Yeah, I know.
All right, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
I'm calling you in regards of that story we had for so many months ago in G4.
Yes. That is about... That is by Environmental Solutions or something like that was their name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Recycling Solutions.
Recycling Solutions, yeah.
Mister, up to this day, that thing has not been resolved.
Wow.
That thing is in the hands. That thing went all around already. Presently, it was taken across to the Labour Minister. And my brother, up to this day, not one person has called me back to let us know how far this thing is, what is going on, what is happening, what is being said with that problem.
Okay,
and all that I'm getting, all the calls that I'm getting are from the workers. The workers that do not know. So everybody is just out there and they are lost because they do not know what is going on. Nobody's talking to them. Nobody's not saying nothing to them. It has been brought to ministers and all, not a word, not one word. Now, while we keep singing the song, putting people first, I want to know if it is just because it's a small amount, just 32 people. If it had to be half of the population or quarter of the population, that something should be done or somebody should look into this thing. Because you can't tell me from October last year, Shelton, October last year, it's almost a year. The law and the constitution of this land states that you have 14 days or 7 days to settle people when they are made redundant. That's the law. That's the constitution stated that. You mean to tell me it's almost a year? Nobody see fit to call the workers in and talk to them and say something to them, or even the man himself that is owing the workers that has ridiculed them. When they call him, telling them rubbish, telling them foolishness, giving them bad answers, I don't owe you, or you don't no longer work for me, and all kind of foolishness. Now listen, Shelton, listen good, and listen good. Last year I told you, not last year, when this thing started, I told you I was in between the workers and this problem as a mediator, preventing men from committing themselves and doing things that would cause them to be arrested. I was paying my own money from my pocket to go to castries for almost 2 weeks to see that nothing foolish happened. And it looked like my labor or my time was just in vain. Now listen, I am not going to make that sacrifice again. I don't wish anything to happen, but I'm telling you, if this time it is not addressed according to what that has been said by some of these workers, listen, Shelton, the end of the story, it won't be good. Because you cannot do that to workers who work for over 15 years, 14 years, 13 years. Man, you just made the people redundant and not a word.
Okay, so you're saying
nothing, and the people have family members.
Hold on a second. Are you saying the stage at which it is now is with the Labour Minister?
It was reported to the Labour Minister. Listen to me. The commissioner, like I said, the Labour commissioner, man, let me tell you something. I don't believe this man. Holding an office like this and the way he handled this thing. Imagine this man said something, the only mention that to the Labour Minister, so late, Shelton, months after that problem. The Labour Minister knew nothing that was going on. The Labour Minister had to call him in person on his phone and ask him what is going on in T4 with these 32 people. And this man was just there beating around the bush, cannot give something concrete as to where this thing is. And the minister had to let him know how displeased she was for not reporting a matter like that to her on time.
Okay.
Now, I made it clear that these guys know each other and they are friends.
Okay, let's
that should never happen.
Okay, you said all of that before. Let's give others a chance. This issue has been ventilated. There is another matter, for example.
Is it possible that you find out about this thing or you look into this thing also?
I don't think I am the best person to be an intervener, interlocutor into such matters.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm not asking you to intervene. I just want to find out if there's a way that you could find out and give some advice.
Maybe I can.
I'm telling you,
for example,
this time, these guys are determined. They are determined, and don't wait for anything stupid to happen or that thing to get out of hand before I hear people start talking foolishness. Because it is 1 year.
Okay, my friend. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. You know, there's another matter, an industrial matter, where someone was fired from the Ministry of Infrastructure for allegedly not replying to a greeting by the Permanent Secretary, and the Labour Commissioner made a ruling upon that, which was rejected by the Permanent Secretary. And I know, according to the industrial relations process, the next step is for the Labour Minister to hold to mediate or some conciliation, whatever it is. But the next step is with the Labour Minister, and we don't know whether this matter has reached the Labour Minister, whether she has taken any action or any steps at her stage of the process on the matter, and we would like to know. So this matter with this recycling business down in Viewfort that closed, and more than 30 people were put out of work, but they can't get any of the terminal payments that's due to them. It's another matter that has been roiling for several months now, and answers need to be forthcoming. We have another call on the line. In fact, two, I'm told. So let's take the first one. Real Issues, you're on the air. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
It's getting more and more difficult to access that program, Real Issues, these days.
Right, it's becoming more popular.
Especially when we have confront a problem when the reception is not very good. There are issues earlier this week I wanted to come on. I couldn't come to, but no matter. But what I want to actually point out to Shelton is that the depth of his comment about what we call the circus around the parliament this week reflects that there seems to be one law for UWP and another law for the rest of St. Lucia, especially if you are an SLP voter or supporter or sympathizer. Mm-hmm. The law, which is called the Public Orders Act, which was established by a UWP administration, it was the administration of John G. and Compton, in the 1970s, made it unlawful for people to demonstrate at a certain distance from the House of Parliament. Mm-hmm. And that law came in when the unions and the general public in St. Lucia were up in arms as far as the workings and the doings of the UWP was concerned at that time. Mm-hmm. The UWP imposed requirements of the public service of the Public Orders Act by putting barriers to occlude or prevent people from congregating around the House of Assembly. And we saw that recently under the administration of Alan Chasney for the past 5 or 6 years when he was in power. Right? Remember the yellow lines and things like that, the police cordons and them kind of things there? That was a doing of the UWP. Under the SLP, we have not witnessed these kind of things. What we witnessed earlier this week was that UWP people who were protesting had access around the parliament. They were in fact breaking the law, a law which the UWP itself had really imposed on St. Lucia. So I think, my brother, that the voting public must use our head when we are going into a mode of deciding which one of these parties have to be voted for to bring into government, especially when it looks at the decision to uphold the freedom of people, freedom of assembly. And the course is clear as far as what we saw in the past 5 years and what we're seeing now. And the only reason which this person had the occasion to accuse or bring charges against the other comrade there, Hile, was because he or she had access to Parliament with a protest T-shirt where she ought not to have had that access. So we have to think of these kind of things.
And I think at the time, this is what Ernest Hille was pointing out to her.
Well, precisely. Precisely. So voters in St. Lucia, we have to use our mind.
Yes.
Precisely. Right. What comes to our mind is that the leader of the opposition now has been recorded. Use our minds, he has been recorded. And I'm saying it from what I heard from the media coming through. That the people who are causing the carnage, the shootings, for example, what happened the Saturday ago, the 2 killings. I heard the gentleman said, I'm not wrong, the gentleman said that they know, and he was referring to himself, that we know that people are being paid to do these kind of things. Let us use our head.
Wow.
There's some conspiracy theorists who would tell you that that whole thing was orchestrated. What they are saying, I talk to a lot of people everywhere, Ansbury, Canaries, the Valley, I talk to them. What they are saying is that what really happened on Saturday and the position which the UWP took to postpone their planned event, advertised, right? They went to church on the Sunday and they went into another, what I would say, maybe a safer place to hold another vigil and them kind. We have to think of these things, our people. Let us think.
Okay.
When the leader of the opposition was prime minister tells us that people are being paid to do that, when some time ago in government, it was also recorded that my sister, Mary Isaac, told you that people who are creating the things are from higher echelons of society. So we have to think of these things, and when we decide to compare the two parties going forward, I believe the course is clear. So let us think, my people, let us think. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon and welcome, Brother Bernard Haynes.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon to the listening public.
How are you doing?
Yep. Well, how am I doing, Shelton? I'm doing good.
These days you're so busy making money, you don't have time for us, so don't worry. I'll drop in unannounced, unexpected, uninvited one of these days.
That's no problem, Shelton. I was pretty happy. I got a lot of uninvited visitors this year to New York, and I am very happy. I've seen a lot of my friends, man.
Okay. What's on your mind today?
But Shelton, what's on my mind was the whole issue that is going on with the woman and the press and whatever. I listened to that story the night, I think, after she said that thing happened. That very same night on another talk show. And I'm saying to myself, this woman is lying. But my issue was not with the woman lying, you know. My issue was with the talk show host, Garfield Oliver. And, you know, he was asking the woman some pertinent question in truth. And within himself, he knew that the woman was lying. But to know somebody is lying and to not tell them, ma'am, be careful what you are saying, you know, hoping that what you are saying isn't true, that you might put yourself in trouble. And he was allowing this woman to go on and on and on and on. And the person, in fact, the people that was there with me, Frabos are like, you know, listening to the program. And they said something is not, I'm not hearing them. They're saying something is not right with that story. You know, and I'm saying back to myself, the host is allowing the woman to put herself in fire, because I'm saying, look, if this thing is really not true, my woman, you are going to find yourself in trouble if I know a little about the laws of Parliament. You know, you are making a false accusation on a government minister. You know that you are doing it. And the host is asking you, did you confront a lawyer? Did you get somebody? Did you seek advice? And her answers was like, but really, you don't want to do anything because you know it's not true. You know?
I don't know. I'll tell you something.
Sheldon, you can go and listen to that tape and you could hear the host is asking her. And she's telling the host, well, I didn't really want Do you know I do this? And her answers was not just equating with what she was saying.
Yeah, she will have to face the music. She's an adult. She's intelligent.
And I think it is high time we make people face the real music when they do things like that. So I know people have a tendency, even if somebody kills somebody and they send them 20 years or they hang them, you will still find another person doing it.
Yeah.
But you need to make an example out of these people so they will think twice.
Okay.
We need to stop these things. But Shelton, people have a blessed Friday. It was nice seeing the youth in action, in the South, wherever they were, and it looking good. The future looking bright for the Labour Party and its young people.
Okay. Thank you very much for the encouraging, words and assessment of the situation. Have a nice weekend as well. God bless, my brother.
You too. Bless
All right. Advance Earth Strong to my loving uncle, Juband of Chase Garden, I think, celebrating on Sunday, 24th of August. Wishing him more blessings, more life, more health, more strength. These greetings coming from your niece, Empress Bobo, and also the Jean-Baptiste family of Soufre and Castries. All right? Can you say this greeting for me, please? This is Empress Bobo. Thanks a million. Well, just did, Empress Bobo. All the best to you. We have another call on the line. Real Issues, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Sheldon. How are you?
Hi, doing okay, and you?
Okay, very good. I am calling. Yesterday you spoke about garbage disposal, and I just wanted to. I have called another radio station, but nothing much has been done. I am referring to there's a concrete road when you're coming from Kainji. You turn left and you can get into Bonte. Sheldon, this is a disgrace because I walk there every morning. And every day you see something different. If it's not dead dogs they drop there, it's construction, stuff from the construction site. I believe there are persons who have, I don't know if they have a feel, they get something, some thrill from seeing the garbage all the time. This is a residential area, and you cannot take your household garbage. I passed there on Monday, there was not a settled state. But by Wednesday, there was a set. Imagine in the Kaimaji area, the bulky waste is every last Thursday of the month. If you know why not put it there? Garbage pass in the area twice a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Friday. If you have your garbage, why not put the garbage somewhere? The truck will pick it up. So I believe that people they're getting a thrill or something when they pass there. But you know what can happen, what they can do? If I guess we can make money off that. Have people to go through the garbage. Once you get a bill in it, you send the bill to, just like they do in the U.S. You get a bill, you get a person's name, you get their address, just send the bill of the trash to their house, to their post box. It is really upsetting. The entire stretch are very nice. There are not many houses there. It's a nice place you can walk. I am sure you all are hearing my voice. And those of you who are doing it, I think the Grizzly Town Council can set up a camera there, and you will see the culprit.
Yep.
You set up a camera, because there are probably 2 houses on that stretch there for now on the main road. Set up a camera, and you will see who's dropping the garbage there. It's really a disgrace, illusions, what you all are doing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. The Minister of Health in Antigua, it's quite a few years now, has actually set up a litter bounty program. Yeah. You manage to record somebody. You manage to provide proof. Submit it to whatever authority they have put, whether it's the police or special litter warden unit or whatever. The litter bugs, including the trucks, that in order to avoid the tipping fees at the landfill, which is at Cook Sanitary Landfill, just like our version of Deglo, you follow them discreetly, quietly. You take photos, you take video clips, shots of them, show their number plate, something that can really, hold up and pin them and identify them. And when they catch them, either they will accept liability and summarily, pay the fine, or they'll go through court and they'll pay it. A part of that bounty, I can't remember what portion, whether it's half or whatever, is shared with the person, who provided the information leading to them being successfully intercepted, interdicted, apprehended, whatever it is, prosecuted. But the fine money is shared with the people or person, who provided the information that led, to that situation of them being stopped in their tracks. And it worked, It worked. So maybe we might need to consider a liter bounty whatever too, because we all have cell phones. People are being recorded and they don't even know it. So when they think they're doing the... and you know what is this funny and at the same time sad thing? If you happen to see some of the people doing that, it's people who are well-dressed, with their tie in their neck like we and their long sleeve and driving good-looking vehicles and who obviously have all the exterior markings and trappings of decency about them, It's not to say some kind of Vie Negrazu who doing it. Because the bags are tied, they take it from their homes and they just throw it somewhere. You look at them, it's people who you would consider based upon their appearance, based upon their upkeep, based upon, the vehicle they drive and so on, that they come from a certain echelon and stratum and standard in the society, that they should be the last ones to say that respectable looking people are the ones, a lot of the time, the ones doing that. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. Do we have a caller waiting on the line? All right. Jaquan says we have to go for the break. When we come back, we'll be open for more calls and read some messages as well.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Feel your heart racing?
He can do nothing wrong tonight.
Feel your toes tapping?
That sounded very good.
Feel the energy building?
Writing more chapters in a legendary book.
That's the feeling of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League, blasting back to town. And this year, the party is even bigger and even louder.
That's gone for 6. My goodness.
Global superstars, monster sixes, edge of your seat drama, live music at halftime, light shows, and a whole lot more. CPL 2025, the biggest party in sport, just got even bigger.
What a time to be alive!
Get your tickets now at cplp20.com.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell Vie 4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters on this Friday, the 22nd of August, 2025. We're going until 2 o'clock. In the meantime, we're taking your calls via WhatsApp on 487-9849 and on the landline 4533911. We have someone already. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, the Honorable Sheldon Daniel.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing wonderfully good.
All right, Brother Anson, can I promise that I will call you back on my phone? I want you to stand down because we're getting a call from Honorable Richard Frederick, okay?
Go right ahead.
All right, so let me call you back after his call. Yes. Honorable Minister, you're on the air. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
How are you?
I'm doing okay, especially after watching you last night.
Oh, yes. Last night was phenomenal, man. And I think I had to go to wit's end to explain, even for those who probably did not understand the level of the seat meted at them by the opposition United Workers' Party. But Shelton, I didn't even call on that, and I am hoping that I sufficiently clarified the mis and disinformation by Alan Shastry and his goons to see that initially we sold the ports, then there was a list, and in Parliament on Tuesday he said he never said that, not realizing that the clip where he said that was in existence. And that's the looseness with which this man speaks. So you really cannot even to trust this man, even with an iota of confidence, which is the smallest particle out. But Shelton, I just saw Alan Shastry. And that's where Alan Shastry will beat Philip JP. I'll tell you that. He will beat Philip JP in shamelessness. Because Philip JP will never do anything to bring shame onto himself. That is not my Prime Minister. But Alan Pakahot, Alan Sahot, he's shameless. When you tell me that this man will post on his page that he will finish St. Jude. I cannot believe it.
Go ahead.
That is inundated with shamelessness. And I believe he'll beat every politician, not only the Prime Minister, every politician in that regard. Because Shelton, there are times you want to do something and you say, when I hunt, and then you say Alan Shastry has no shame. Alan Shastry will utter anything anywhere, not realizing he's contradicting himself. And even if he knows he does not care. So, St. Jude, Shelton, 3 out of 4 prime ministers, 3 out of 4, Stephenson King, Kenny Anthony, Stephenson King, Kenny Anthony, Philip JP, and Alan Shastry, the 4 prime ministers. 3 out of 4 of them decided to go with the original St. Jude. That is a fact. Shastry, for some unknown reason, believe he's the one who thinks outside the box. He came in. The very first thing he did was to demolish 2 buildings that cost taxpayers $7 million. He demolished 2 buildings that cost us $7 million. And in an attempt at fooling the eyes of the public, just before the last elections, he put up a structure like a car park, which is in Conway there. And all he did was put cladding on the outside and call it a state-of-the-art hospital.
Yes.
When we first walked through that, it was like a vacuum. It was empty. Not even the pipes. No air conditioning, no water, no electric. Nothing was run yet. But in an effort at fooling the people, they put outside cladding. Now, he's not telling persons, even if he had built that box, a heavy percentage of the original St. Jude still would have had to be used to complement the box.
Yes.
Okay? So here we are, $181 million later. And I know Shasta would have made that pronouncement. Because Shasta went to the hospital and he was visibly shaken. He actually hit the walls believing it was drywall. Obviously there's drywall in some places, but he thought the entirety of the interior was drywall, not believing that so much work had been completed. I am telling the St. Lucian public now that St. Jude is at 95% or thereabout.
Okay.
And when I said, I made a statement, and of course the opposition ran with it, but they don't know what I know, and they don't know the confidence I have in the Honorable Prime Minister. You remember when I said, if St. Jude is not finished, I am not running elections again?
I remember that distinctly. You made it clear. If St. Jude is not finished in this term,
they made a big brouhaha. They made a big brouhaha, but they did not realize implicit in my comment was the confidence I had in the Prime Minister to deliver on what we as a cabinet agreed we would do. We were going to. And I'll repeat it again. If St. Jude is not completed, I'm not running the next elections. So tell them I say put that in the pipe and smoke it.
Right.
So during the currency of his prime ministership, what did Alan do? He paid $100 and something million for horses. Bring them here by a chartered plane. Okay? And about 11 days before the 2021 elections, gave a direct award for $70 million. Thank God the election intervened and that agreement remained with the Attorney General. And in that agreement, he agreed to pay 1% interest per day.
Can you imagine that?
Let me tell you something, man. This man, and when I tell you those guys give me fodder, they give me fodder because all they do is Richard Frederick. But Richard Frederick speaks about those egregious deeds on such, with such frequency that they remain indeligible on my mind. I know those facts. I know them. Alan Chastney, man.
I find it so interesting that you point out that he wants to prove that he's thinking outside the box. And the manner in which he proves and manifests that is to build a huge useless box. He boxes himself in. He boxes in our money. He boxes in our, this guy, is imprisoning us. But let me go to one other thing quickly.
Yes,
you can shed some light for us on why Alan Chastney is so obsessed with finding out or presenting what he says is evidence of lying. I mean, his entire plank of opposition seems to be built on one of two things. That America is vexifus, that he can get America vexifus, visa-free access. And when it's not that, it's always making some accusation or allegation that certain people, usually four people, the Prime Minister, Ernest Tilley, yourself, and maybe you throw in Honorable, that we're lying. You're lying to the people. They're lying. They're lying to the people. I mean, that seems to be all the...
Let me just tell you that. But you must understand, Alan Chastney operates in a manner that I don't think his ability to retain is if it's existent, it's negligible. Chastney does not remember when Chastney could be on a television show and said that Grenadiers brought down gas by less than $10, and less than 30 seconds after say he has never said that. It speaks to a man whom I believe. I cannot say he did, but they're saying that Alan never went to any good school. I'm beginning to wonder whether that is true. Because the man, in my humble view, does not have the foundational educational basis to make any kind of good decision. Alan, as you heard, Peter King said Alan is reckless. His own candidate says he's reckless. I had said it even before he won the leadership of the party, and their own, I showed it on television, their own consultant, their own pollster said that Alan Shastney is reckless. So you have substantiation coming from across the board. The man just says anything. So I know he went, he saw St. Jude. He was unpleasantly surprised because he knows St. Jude will lead to his political demise. And now he's giving an undertaking that he'll finish a thing that is nearing completion. I mean, that is total madness. Where is the money for the horses? Why didn't he take that $180 million and complete the original St. Jude, which Stephenson King would have, which Kenny would have, and which Philip Japier is now doing? You know, you coulda, you woulda, you shoulda. Guy Joseph said if they don't finish St. Jude, they don't deserve office. And I could tell you, Philip Joseph Pierre will ensure that St. Jude is delivered to the people of St. Lucia in the not too distant future. And when I said what I said, I was taken to the gallows, the political gallows, but it was a manifestation of confidence. It was confidence I had in my leader, basically to execute the promises that he had made to the people of this good country of ours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Richard Frederick. Really appreciate, this call from you. It was unexpected, it was unplanned, but as everything else, you always acquit and give a good account of yourself, thinking on your feet on the spur of the moment. We appreciate it. All the best to you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, and Brother Anson Maxwell, I'm going to try to call him back on my phone, but I see a call is coming from a military man. Hi, good afternoon, cuz. How you doing?
Hi, good day. Mola.
All right, okay. You're on there. Go ahead.
There's a saying that says, in my brain, what is on the left, there is nothing right. And what is on the right, there is nothing left.
you sounding like
that's Alan Shastney.
You sounding like Mangal, And on the left, right, I mean left, and on the right, left. You sounding like Timothy.
I gave it the right combination. On the right, on the left, there is nothing right, and on the right, there is nothing left.
You
have no retentive memory.
All right.
There's nothing left.
What's on your mind, bro?
Okay, so what's on my mind is this that you read a while ago about the police exhibit being found in Viewport. I mean, I would know that any police officer would know that if exhibits were taken from a site, whether from a homicide or suicide investigation, it would be stored in one place. So if it was stored at the Viewport police station, that's where it would remain. You understand? If it was stored in classrooms at a special room, that's where it would remain. Because somebody will have to sign for it to remove it from the custody. And there is always a chain of custody when it comes to things. Now, that St. Lucia Daily Post is an arm of the United Workers' Party. You understand? The person who owns it has a position in the United Workers' Party. So anything that Daily Post comes out with, I don't give it 2 cents worth.
Okay.
You understand? Because check the amount of time the commissioner did mention that. So every time all of a sudden the police just go in a box report and they find the evidence.
Yeah, and conveniently when the commissioner is not there, when he's gone on leave,
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So there's a lot of that's like a laundry basket.
Okay.
I only know water, so I wouldn't even give credence to it.
Okay.
Right? And I hope, I'm saying by now, with the evidence that the recordings that the police have received from the Speaker of the House, not from the House of Parliament, I'm sure by now they would have concern that there is nothing amiss in relation to what the female accused will have. So by now, I assume that they will be calling her in and prefer charges against her for giving false reports,
Yeah.
false accusations, and thereby.
Yes.
How long does it take to view a tape?
Okay.
It's not a speaker downloaded the tape, The police themselves downloaded the tape.
Yeah.
So there's no way that the speaker or anybody else would have doctored those things.
Okay.
You understand?
I have to go to answer now.
Something itself, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Let me see if I can get Anson on my phone now. He was trying to call and I had him to stand down so that the minister... Hi, Brother Anson, are you there?
Yes, Brother Sheldon,
Okay, I'm giving you your turn now.
Brother Sheldon, good afternoon. I'm on air?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? As a journalist yourself, who've been a renowned journalist for St. Lucia through the years, what is your interpretation of a journalist going and planning to ambush a minister? Because I have a tip on my site where this young lady said they will not give an interview, so I will have to ambush them. That is what I have. That tip. It's on my web, I post it on my page. But what does that really mean, to ambush ministers?
Not everybody who calls themselves a journalist or who people brand as a journalist for convenience and for a particular purpose or agenda is a journalist. You understand? So taking somebody who's doing something else, and activism and some improvised radio station that you cobble together for the purpose of an election campaign, and you put a little, digital mic or, in somebody's hand and send them out, like you say, to go and do. There are people who are mercenaries and hit people, hit men, hit women, and so on. And you can clothe them in a journalistic garb and guise and so on and call them, and they're not a journalist, because a journalist is somebody who pays attention to a lot of things, who keeps a diary, not necessarily a literal one, it can be a mental one, but certainly who makes themselves familiar with events, both contemporary and historical. They familiarize themselves with a broad body of knowledge by which they can cross-reference current and immediate information. There are people who are able to relate this to that and so on, and they don't do things in a vacuum. So again, someone who may be a housewife, who may be a canvasser, who may be a propagandist. I'm the first to admit to you that Real Issues is not a journalistic program. It's not a journalistic exercise. It's a talk show. You understand? News is never as opinionated as I am on the real issues. There was a time I used to practice bona fide protocol journalism, and I still can. But the Real Issues is not a journalistic program. It draws on elements of journalism, that I will research something, that I will put it in sequence, that I will cross-reference it with other things. These are techniques you learn from. So a lot of people who were journalists or have journalist background or journalistic training can bring to bear their journalistic resourcefulness on something that in and of itself may not be journalism as we strictly define it. Because journalism comes from the word journal, the keeper of a journal. You keep notes, you keep references so that you're able to sequence and compare things and do all of that and so on. That is what it is. It is the keeper of a journal, literally speaking. Nowadays, we don't have the literal journal because what we have is so much electronic things and so on that we don't need to be keeping the actual book of a diary and so on. But that's what it is. So clothing somebody in the nomenclature and in the description of a journalist so that you can use them to do a hatchet job on somebody else and so on, it doesn't necessarily fly. And we have a lot of that. People maybe who once upon a time were journalists, they have the abilities and the skills of a journalist, but they have turned it to something else, they're hit people, they're hatchet people and so on, and they're doing a job, payola people and so on, who are getting paid or getting some of the reward for what they're doing. It's all over the place. A lot of PR people now, including, for example, the White House press secretary. I don't know for the livid girl and so on. She may have been, but when you look at people like Kayleigh McInerney and Jen Psaki and so on, these people have a background in solid, recognized, respected journalism. But at some point, they got a good offer. The money that being press secretary to the White House or president is probably more than you would have ever earned, even on the big networks and so on, plus the fame and the prestige that comes with it. And they will take it. They will draw on their history and their background as journalists. But when they have to do a hit on somebody for the president and so on, or to push back against something, they'll gladly do it. And they're difficult to nail down because they have the journalistic bona fides underpinning the hit work that they're doing. Sorry for talking so long, but I just wanted to give you a
how would you describe the preconceived idea on approaching the minister by that particular person who calls themselves a journalist?
It's not the first time. And if you're talking about Lissa,
okay.
I think I've said before, and I shouldn't personalize things, but it leaves a little bone in my throat to venture in any way that seems like I'm attacking her personally. As a friend, she's shared some information with me that gives me a certain degree of sensitivity. But Lissa is not the first one or the only one. We've seen other people maybe...
Okay. I need to ask you my other question. I don't want you to go off because as a Denrian like myself, I mean the passion that Alan Shastney displayed in the House of Parliament when he said that the United Workers' Party were the party who built Point Seraphine in 1981. Could you shed some light on, because I mean you from then, that it was the Labour Party who was in government and the Labour Party built Point Seraphine. And Alan Shastney is so passionate in the House of Parliament telling the whole world that the United Workers' Party built Point Seraphine in 1981.
It's just like his how you call that? His data is garbled, his lines are crossed. Richard Frederick used the word historicity, that is taking historical things and placing them into an accurate context and sequence and so on. Alan Shastney does not do that because he had no connection to our politics before, when he was roped in by Sir John Compton to be part of the cabinet and so on. And Compton probably did that because he felt that Shastney, both father and son, that they had gravitated more to the Labour Party than to him. In fact, I am told, and that one, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I can't prove it, but I'm told that Kenny Anthony had actually invited Shastney and to write a paper, a position paper, to help them draft a policy paper or something like that on tourism. You understand? As a man who had some claim to fame in the tourism sector. And the next thing they knew is that Shastney was going around doing house to house with Spider. That's in 2006. A man was supposed to be. Now, it is believed that Butch Stewart had a part to play in that, because Butch Stewart was upset with the Labour Party over the Labour Code, and over some industrial thing. But Shastney was supposed to have been working with Kenny Anthony, I was told, to draft a policy paper on tourism or something of that kind. And next thing they knew, he had slide on Kenny and whatever without them knowing anything like that. Now, whether or not this is true, the fact is it's all about self-interest. It's all about, establishing yourself and getting a foothold for your own purposes. What Richard has revealed to us about the rent of private property for government offices and so on is just the tip of the iceberg in telling us why sponsoring your son to gain a toehold in the elective politics of the country, it serves your agenda in a big way and it's a worthwhile investment. We have to go now. The time is upon us. What's that?
Thank you so much for the opportunity for the clarification. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Blessings to everybody.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Oh boy, sorry. Wow. Why was that brought in so late? Sorry, I have to cut off the phone. Jekwan, this really took me a little off guard and so on. Is the lotto coming on already? Okay. Lafargue Community Center has recently been vandalized, and all proceeds from this event will go directly toward the restoration and repairs. Your participation will help bring our community center back to life. So come, play, win, and contribute to rebuilding a vital focal space. And that is a grand bingo party hosted by the Choiseul Saltibus Constituency Council on Sunday, 24th August 2025 at the Lafargue Community Center starting 2 p.m. All right, so you don't want to miss the prizes. The first 10 prizes, 2 special prizes, and the grand jackpot prize of $2,000. Okay, so that's how we wrap up the real issues for today. Thank you so very much, everyone, for having been our companions and our support for the week. God willing, all things equal, we'll start back again on Monday, same time, 12:30 to 2 on Real FM, NBC Television, Facebook, and YouTube Live. Big up to you, Jaquan. Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Feel your heart racing?
He can do nothing wrong tonight.
Feel your toes tapping?
That sounded very good.
Feel the energy building?
Writing more chapters in a legendary book.
That's the feeling of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League, blasting back to town. And this year, the party is even bigger and even louder.
That's gone for 6. My goodness.
Global superstars, monster sixes, edge of your seat drama, live music at halftime, light shows, and a whole lot more. CPL 2025, the biggest party in sport, just got even bigger.
What a time to be alive!
Get your tickets now at cplp20.com.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance.
1 is 2x, 1 off 011, lucky 3 995. The lucky free multi-X ball drawn is FP.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no